Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Covering both sides of the big issues with the analysis you trust on News Radio 1040 WHO.
Here's a little reality check. Americans are using credit cards now to cover their daily expenses. Monica, what is going on with our American families where they're now using credit cards to cover just their daily day-to-day expenses?
I think probably the biggest problem is they were not prepared for what is happening in our economy today. And so they haven't changed their habits. And so as prices are increasing, they're still continuing their spending. And even though we've raised interest rates, it's really not curbing the need for the typical families to buy groceries or pay their mortgage or their rent or utilities or any other service that they may go to because everything's on the rise.
And Monica, it's always fascinating to me that month after month, despite the increases in inflation, you always see a news story that says, but American consumer spending continues to be strong, which means people are building up credit card debt. What are you seeing in the financial services industry? Why are people doing this? Is it because we went through a pandemic and now we're just like YOLO and we're not putting away money in savings? What are you seeing?
There is some truth behind the endorphins that you get from shopping, right? Retail therapy is a real thing. And what I see is that people really, they don't care. They always feel that something's going to happen where they're going to be okay. The mindset of saving away for a rainy day doesn't seem to be realistic anymore. We're still competing with the Joneses, even though we don't have the money to do so. And so I think it really comes down to the individual to take a good hard look at themselves and their own spending habits and see where they're being extremely excessive in that.
Monika Heaton on News Radio 1040 WHO. Monica, I just feel like with all of the stories about the consumer debt we're building up and the fact that we can't even afford to meet our daily expenses, there's going to be, I think there's going to be some kind of disaster in the economy in the future, and then everybody's going to act shocked as to how it happened. How are you feeling at this point?
From what I've seen in the past, I really hate to say this, we've always lived off of what I call funny money, where it's either the interest rates are really low, so I'm going to refinance my house, I'm going to take more money out, I'm going to go buy a larger home that I can't afford. Okay, I'm going to get the 0% credit card, I'm going to pay off this. Okay, I'm going to quit my job and go to a different company that's paying me more money or stock options or et cetera. And then what ends up happening, a crisis happens. And so I think the banks, if we remember way back when, the banks are going to take on a big burden of this as well because people are just going to go file bankruptcy because they just can't manage it. And then that always filters into, if we have problems in the housing, that filters on to the banks as well, and that just becomes a snowball effect in the economy.
She's the CEO at Decision Financial Services. Monica, thanks for joining us on WHO Radio today.